What's up, guys? Heisenberg here. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about one of my favorite decks that I like to be playing, especially this last season. It was pretty good in the beginning. It started to fizzle out. Didn't have really good finishing the deck, but we did get a lot of good cards. Whispers of the Old Gods. The deck that I'm going to be talking about today is Totem Golem. Bring up the deck right here. Um, Before we talk about the deck, I do want to just mention the fact that this deck has gone through many different versions. There is a finalized version that I really, really like. I forgot who made it, to be honest. I'd really like to give credit to the person who made it, but I cannot remember for the life of me who it was, so I'm just going to say that it wasn't me. Anyway, so I want to go through the different type of versions here. There's a couple different versions. A lot of people um, like to play the Flame Wrath Faceless, and it's a really powerful card. I mean, that's one of the new cards in Whispers of the Old Gods. 4 mana for a 7/7, absolutely ridiculous. I mean, even if you have coin, you got a 7/7 turn 3, really, really powerful, and it has a lot of synergy when you combine that with Tunnel Trog, um, plus two, plus two attack power here, early game. So really, really powerful. Some people like to play Master of Evolution. Um, I'm not a big fan. It's a new card from Whispers of the Old Gods. Again, really, really good card. It's just not something that I like to play in Totem Golem deck, but it's to whoever's own. One of the other cards that we got in Whispers of the Old Gods is Thing from Below. Now, this card costs one less for each of your totems summoned this game. Now, that does not mean this turn. That means in general, if you play 3 totems, it costs 3 less to play this card. Even if it wasn't in your hand, pick it up, 3 less. Really, really awesome card. Definitely not a card that you take out of this deck. I personally like to play Harrison Jones in my Totem Golem deck. There's a lot of weapons going around. There's a lot of shamans going around, and one of the biggest things that shamans are playing right now is Doomhammer. Doomhammer can be devastating. I mean, if you combine that with the Rock Biter, you can do 20 damage in 2 turns easily if you don't have a taunt up. You're gonna be playing some some shamans eventually, and to be able to get rid of that and draw cards at the same time is pretty ridiculous in my opinion. So I like to play it. It's got me out of a lot of trouble. It's definitely won some games for me. So that's going to be staying in. So in general, I have this deck list up here. I actually don't like to run Master Revolution. I was debating on keeping one of the Flame, the Faceless, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to keep it for right now. I did have 2 Thunder Bluffs. I do like Thunder Bluff. I think it makes Totem, but I can definitely see where it's situational for sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put back I'm either going to put back a Manatide or I'm going to put back a Thunder Bluff. I do like the card draw, and with the Totem, it has really good synergy with the deck, so I'm going to keep it in there and then keep one of the Faceless. This is probably my finalized deck here for Totem. Another card that I didn't mention that is new to Old Gods is Primal Fusion. Uh, Only one in this deck, but it is a really, really good card. It stays with the creature the entire time. It can be really handy if you have like 4 totems, stacks with Totem Golem, stacks with Tuskar Totemic when he summons one. All those stack with things from below, has really good synergy, and I mean the +1/+1 that can just like make a game for you. So really, really awesome deck. Um, Basically, the entire premises behind this is you can see it doesn't really have a lot of end game. You know, by most of the games that you're playing, you're gonna be beating them by maybe turn 8, 9. Um, Very rarely get to turn 10 unless you're playing some kind of control deck, priest, warrior, those kind of decks. Those can be kind of problematic. But for the most part, doing a lot of damage in the beginning of the game here. Now, one thing I want to point out here is that we are running a Doomhammer and some Rock Biters, which you can do 10 damage if you have a Rock Biter with the Doomhammer. Really good synergy. A lot of people make the mistake of saving the Rock Biter though. You don't want to be saving the Rock Biter just for Doomhammer and, take 6 damage from some kind of 3/2 that your opponent plays early in the game. If you have Rock Biter and you don't have, a card on a minion on the board, you want to be able to get rid of that minion. You have to gain tempo with this deck. You can't just allow people to run everywhere, all over you, and then not have board control. A lot of things that people don't like to do also is Tunnel Trog. They will do anything in their power to save this card. In this deck, it's really not, it's not like aggro decks with Shaman where this card is like vital to the deck. I mean, you really don't have that many overload cards. I mean, you have a Lightning Bolt, one of them. You have some Feral Spirits, which this is probably the best combination. The Feral Spirits and the Totem Golem are probably the best combinations for the Tunnel Trog. Yeah, we have the Lightning Storm, but that's situational. You're going to be using that a lot with Warlock for sure. And it can also synergize with Faceless and Doomhammer. But by the time you get these out, you might not even have the Tunnel Trog out. And, I just don't like saving it just because. If you need to gain control, if you need to gain board control, do it. Do anything you can, gain that board control so that you can start clearing the board so then you can have a lot of your creatures out. Now, one thing I forgot to mention too is that I was playing a Bloodlust. If I was going to take out one of the cards, I'd probably take out Faceless for the Bloodlust, or I would take out one of the Mana Tides for the Bloodlust as well. Bloodlust can be really, really important in these gameplays, and to be honest, it's won me a lot of games. But for the time being, we're going to keep the deck how it is. Now, you're going to see in the gameplay, I'm going to get into it right after this, but you want to be able to mulligan for your lower cards, obviously. You want to be able to get Tunnel Trog, you want to be able to get Flame Juggler, you want to be able to get Totem Golem. Even at the end, I mean, you want to get some Feral Spirits too. You don't really need to keep Hex. You only want to keep Lightning Storm if it's situational for Warlocks or some kind of aggro deck, but for the most part, you really want to get your Argent Squires, your Tunnel Trogs, Flames, all these, and be able to roll the board right away. So what we're going to do is we're going to start jumping into it. This was just a tutorial, just going over the deck list, going over, what kind of cards you're going to see in the deck and how the synergies work with each other. And yeah, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. I'm going to put the deck list up on the side here, so if you just give me a second. You want to drop that, save it. Right, let's get the deck list up there. All right. Let's get into it now. I'm not legendary. This is the last day of the season. I am playing at ranked 4 for the season, or rank 6 for the season right now. Just lost rank 5. Was kind of messing around, but definitely not a pro by any means. Don't have too much time to play, but I definitely enjoy my Hearthstone. So let's get into it. I'll start describing kind of like my points of view here, what I think should be happening, and just take it with a grain of salt. I love feedback. If you guys have any opinions on it, that's fine by me. You know, I'm not going to take an offense to it. So we are playing against a shaman. I'm not going to keep the things below. I'm probably going to keep the rockbiter. Chances are, if he puts a tunnel trog down, I will be using this rockbiter to kill that thing. I'll probably keep the Tuskar here. I just don't want to get rid of Tuskar and then end up having two big cards, especially against a shaman. He's going to have a lot of early play. He's either going to be aggro or Totem Golem. Those are really the only two shaman decks you see. You saw some evolution decks at first, but you know that's not going to happen. So I'm gonna keep the Tuskar here. Hopefully, I get some kind of yeah, you know, I would have wanted a Flame or Totem Golem. Kind of a bad hand here. We're not going to play anything, obviously. We're just going to switch to the next turn. And that's why I keep the Rockbiter. So I am going to use the Rockbiter. I'm not going to let that thing live. We're going to pass. Next turn, we can have the Tuskar. I guess he doesn't really have too much. He's going to just be playing a Totem, which is really good for me. Now, we did get a Tunnel Trog here. So, to be honest, I'm probably going to play the Tunnel Trog first. Tuskar, I'm going to get into it second. So we'll play the Tuskar right now. Get into the Totem second here. Hopefully he doesn't have a Lightning Bolt or a Rockbiter. Chances are he might have one. Okay, he's going to use the Lightning Storm here. Okay, that's fine. I mean, he's going to have some overload there. So the choices we have, I mean, I could use the Tuskar or I could use the Manatide. Start getting the Manatide out there and then start drawing some cards. Considering he's going to have two Overlord from the Lightning Storm, might be a nice play. I'm going to play the Tuskar, though, because you never know what kind of totem you're going to get.
Did you bring some fish?
And that's why you played the Tuskar. Yeah. So that was definitely a better move. Really hard to deal with. I mean, Tuskar is one of my favorite cards in the deck for sure. Alright. So he's used a Lightning Storm, he's used a Hex, he's used a lot of high he's used a lot of very important cards in his deck. He knows what he's against. So we did pick up a thing from below here. Now, one thing I could do is I could play a Totem, reduce the cost of this to 3, and be able to play that if I want to do that. Or again, like I said, I could start doing Manatide and start drawing some cards here. Start getting some cards up here, which again will lower the cost of Thing from Below. And he doesn't have anything in play right now. So the only thing that I'm really afraid of with Manatide is that he might have a Rockbiter. We haven't seen a Rockbiter yet. We have seen a Lightning Storm. So let's just go ahead and play Totem. We'll play a Thing from Below. And to be honest, I am going to kill this. I don't want that on the board. This only has 2 life anyway. I'd rather have the chance of him being able to kill that out of the equation. Okay. So we do have some options here as well. I could just Lightning Storm. I could Totem Lightning Storm to see where we're at with that. Or just Lightning Storm. Considering he's a shaman, he doesn't really have a lot of removal that I'm scared of. You know, if this was a paladin, I'd be really scared of equality and you know, the 3/2 gets rid of everything. He doesn't really have too much. He had a lightning storm. He's already used it. He's not going to be able to have an extra totem for the extra spell damage. So I'm not really too afraid of playing another thing from below. I think I'm going to actually do that. Actually, you know, I'm going to play the... I want to start getting some cards here. I'm going to start playing that. If we didn't kill everything... Oh, okay, we did kill everything. We got lucky. So if we didn't get 3 on every single one, you know, I could have used the 1 on the 0/3, finish it off. But we got a pretty nice lightning storm there. Alright, so that's the second lightning storm. Got lucky on the mana tide. Like I said, wasn't too afraid because of the thing from below. We have 5 mana because we have the overload from what we had from before. So what we can do is... I don't think he has too much. So he already played 2 lightning storms, so I'm definitely not afraid of playing feral spirits here. I want to be able to get as much stuff on the board. He's got 21. We're controlling the board pretty heavily. I do kind of want to get a healing totem, so I'm not going to play thing from below. I'm going to play feral spirits, and then I'm going to hopefully try to go for a healing totem, which will also lower the amount for thing from below. Good synergy, and also give me more for my primal spirit if I need to use that in the future. So we're going to go ahead and press the totem here. And just go face. I'm not as worried about the 1/1 right now. That was actually a pretty good draw for Doomhammer. Now, if we do get a rock biter after this, we're gonna be in pretty good shape. Thing from below, not too bad. We do have a hex still. So we could be lethal here. No, we're not lethal. So because we do have the Doomhammer.
I wonder.
So we could kill thing from below with our thing from below, and that's 2, 4, 5. 4 is 9, plus another 3, it's 12. So we're 4 off lethal.
What to do?
Probably just go the easy road here. Hex this. Kill it with that. Play the totem. And then we're just gonna go all out. I'm really not too afraid of what he has here. I am gonna kill one of his... I am gonna kill that totem. I don't want him to be able to use anything there. So he's in a really hard spot here. I mean, with 6 life, we do have 1 lightning bolt. It's a concede. So Totem Golem beats Totem Golem. Which is why it's important that I had mentioned that there are many different versions of this deck. Doesn't mean one version is better than the other. Doesn't mean... Yeah, it doesn't mean one version is better than the other. It just means there's different versions. Let's go ahead and do a couple more here. Alright, so Warrior. This turns out to be a pretty hard matchup for me. Sometimes. I don't have the stats on the top of my head here, but I will tell you that Cthulhu decks end up being pretty hard because they have a lot of control on them. We are going to keep the Tunnel Trog. We are going to keep the Argent Squire. This, in my opinion, is one of the better hands that you can get. Now, I would have wanted to have Flame Juggler replaced with Totem Golem, but I'm not going to get rid of a 2 draw on turn 1 here. Now, I am a little worried that he's going to play a Fiery War Axe. I do kind of want to just lure him out. I don't know if I really want to play the Tunnel Trog. At the same time, that's what I was talking about earlier, that this deck list, it's not really as necessary to save the Tunnel Trog as before. Let's go ahead and just play the Argent. We don't have any overload for the Tunnel Trog either way. Got the baby crying in the background. Not the best time, baby, but no, can't do anything about it. So here, we're probably just gonna go ahead and use the Flame Tongue, get rid of that. It's a little bit of a weird card to see in the Warrior deck. I wasn't expecting it by any means.
It's getting hot in here.
It's like 90 degrees out here, so just gonna turn on the AC real quick. So he got really unlucky there. That's unfortunate. I'm not gonna feel too bad for him. We're gonna play one of these, and we're gonna put another one of the Argent Squires down. Pretty good shape here. Now, it looks like he's playing some kind of aggro deck. Yeah, he's definitely got some kind of aggro going on here. That's okay. Gets rid of that. Here's where we're gonna play the Tunnel Trog. Next turn, we got a lot of damage coming to him if he can't kill this Tunnel Trog. So what we're going to do, and the thing is we're going to put the Mana Tide down as well. I want to use it as a distraction. I want him to be able to go for my Mana Tide totem, leave my Tunnel Trog wide open. He probably thinks that the Mana Tide is a bigger threat than what we got going on right now. So we're going to keep that like that. Very surprised that, just very surprised. So I'm still gonna play the Doomhammer. I do want to kill it too. I want to kill that little thing he's got going there. I'm actually just going to take the 6 damage to the face. I'd much rather have... Now, this could end up biting me in the ass. We'll find out. Considering he is an aggro warrior, I really don't feel like he's going to be throwing out some kind of brawl at me. But what else could he have? That's not good for him, and that's not good for him. We're in pretty good shape. We're in pretty good standings here. So, what do we got here? So, we can have 1 overload for this to make it 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. We got 10, 11. So, 4, 8, 10, 11 plus the 3 is 13. And then we have the 1, so it's only a +1, +1. So, let's go ahead and just play the Tusker. That's pretty good for me. And so this guy can't kill anything yet, so I'm just gonna kill him with that. 1 to me, that's fine. I'm gonna lightning bolt this guy, kill it with my shield, and finish the rest with face. Draw a card with my mana. pretty good standings. Now, the reason I had mentioned Bloodlust before is because in a situation like this, even if he kills a couple of these things, I could Bloodlust next turn and he would just be absolutely devastated. So it is game. Let's go ahead and just...
Elements guide me. Elements guide me.
I fight.
Toasty.
So that wraps it up. As you can hear, baby's in the background crying. I'm gonna wrap it up. Make sure I tend to the baby. Make sure she's okay. You can hear her right now. But that's just a quick video on Totem Golem. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. If you're a pro, you probably didn't learn anything. But if you're new to the game and just wanted to check out Totem Golem, I hope I taught you a little bit of something, and I hope you enjoyed the games that I just played. Please use the deck list if you want. I have no problem with it. I didn't even make the idea of it. Totem Golem's been around for a long time, ever since Totem Golem having came out, and I have a lot of fun with it. It's definitely gotten me pretty high in the ranks on this season. I would have been higher if I wasn't messing around with a lot of deck making, but at the same time, I play this game for fun. I am no pro by any means. I hope you enjoyed the guide that I made, and I'll see you next time.